Good evening, student. After completing the passive transport across the cell membrane, now we have to learn about the active transport across the cell membrane. This is a special category of transport in which we actively spend the energy in the form of ATP. There are two main categories of active transport. One is called as primary active transport and second is called as secondary active transport. And there is one special category in this active transport which is mentioned as bulk transport. So let's try to learn all of these. So as we have already discussed, the active transport will have a expenditure of energy in the form of ATP. So to transport the substance across the cell membrane, किसी भी substance को cell membrane के across transport करने के लिए हमको energy खर्चा करनी पड़ेगी in the form of ATP. In active transport we are having two main categories. One is called as primary active transport and second is secondary active transport. In primary active transport, the energy which we spend is utilized directly. So here there will be a direct utilization of energy to move or pump the substance across the cell membrane. प्राइमरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट में जो भी एटीपी हमारा खर्चा होगा, एटीपी यूटिलाइजेशन इज डायरेक्टली हमारा एटीपी खर्चा होगा फॉर पंपिंग और ट्रांसपोर्टिंग द सब्सटेंस इन और आउट ऑफ द सेल मेम्ब्रेन. बट इन केस ऑफ सेकेंडरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट वी एक्चुअली यूज अ इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल ग्रेडियंट developed by primary active transport. So secondary active transport वो ट्रांसपोर्ट है जिसमें हम इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल ग्रेडियंट का यूज करते हैं टू ट्रांसपोर्ट द सब्सटेंस अक्रॉस द सेल मेम्ब्रेन इधर इन और आउट. बट ये इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल ग्रेडियंट किसने डेवलप किया? तो ये इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल ग्रेडियंट प्राइमरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट के वजह से डेवलप हुआ. इसीलिए सेकेंडरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट में वी डू नॉट यूटिलाइज द एटीपी डायरेक्टली, लेकिन वो ग्रेडियंट का यूज हमने किया जो ग्रेडियंट एटीपी के यूटिलाइजेशन से बना, इसीलिए हम इसको सेकेंडरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट करते हैं. In secondary active transport, ATP is not utilized directly, but we utilize the electrochemical gradient which is developed due to utilization of ATP, and that's why it is called as secondary active transport. We are taking the example for both these things. Now there is one special category of active transport which is called as bulk transport. Bulk transport. In bulk transport we will transport the substance in bulk manner, in huge quantity, and for transporting the substance in huge quantity or in bulk manner we can transport the substance inside the cell or we can transport the substance outside the cell. Okay, so in bulk transport we are again having two special things. When we transport the substance inside the cell, then that process is called as endo means inside, cytosis यानी सेल के अंदर. And if we are transporting the substance outside the cell, then that process is called as exocytosis. So in bulk transport we have to learn two processes. One is endocytosis and second is exocytosis. अंडर एंडोसाइटोसिस कौन सा सब्सटेंस हमने सेल के अंदर ट्रांसपोर्ट किया? अगर हमने सॉलिड सब्सटेंस को सेल के अंदर ट्रांसफर किया, देन दैट प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एज phagocytosis. So again in endocytosis, if we are transporting solid substance inside the cell, then the process is called as phagocytosis. This phagocytosis is also called as cell eating. Okay, cell ने खाना खाया, that is cell eating, that is phagocytosis. And if you are transporting liquid substances inside the cell, then the process is called as pinocytosis, which is also called as cell drinking. यानी सेल ने पानी पिया. So endocytosis means we will transport a bulk amount of substance inside the cell, but that substance, if it is solid, then it is called as phagocytosis, means cell eating. And if we are transporting a liquid substance inside the cell, then the process is called as pinocytosis, that is cell drinking. Now we'll try to learn about the primary active transport, and then we'll learn about secondary active transport, and then we'll go for endocytosis and exocytosis. So now in case of primary active transport, we have already discussed that we will utilize the ATP directly to transport the substance across the membrane. So for that we have to firstly revise the structure of cell membrane. A cell membrane is a lipid bilayer. So these are the phospholipids molecules which are arranged with their polar head outside and inside, and the fatty acid chains which are facing each other. So now this membrane is a selectively permeable membrane which will have two types of proteins, extrinsic proteins and intrinsic proteins, which can partially or completely buried inside the cell membrane. Such type of proteins are called as tunnel proteins. We have already learned this. Okay, and this membrane is a selectively permeable membrane. Now this membrane will not allow certain substance to move in or out depending upon their charge, but the cell is in requirement of that substance, and the substance, if is required in large amount, then cell will have to actively absorb the substance against the concentration gradient. As we are seeing कि the in active transport we will absorb the substance against the concentration gradient. In active transport we will absorb the substance against concentration gradient, and for this particular thing, to absorb the substance against its gradient, we have to spend the energy. Now for learning primary active transport, there are some pumps which will transport the substances. Whenever we use the word pump, this pump word will indicate certain protein transmembrane protein which use the energy to pump the substance inside or outside. It is a protein which is present in the membrane, transmembrane. Let's say for example we are drawing a pump like protein. So it is just like a pump. It is a protein which is present inside the membrane. or just to make it some lively thing, we are drawing this pump like this. Okay, and this pump will have its arms. So these are the arms of the pump. Clear? So this is a protein which is situated inside the membrane. Now this protein, a transmembrane protein, is a pump which will actually ATPase enzymes. This category of pumps is actually the ATPase enzymes which actually utilize the energy of ATP directly, and depending upon the substance which the pump will transport in and out, they will get the name. So the best example in this category of pump is a sodium potassium pump. As the name indicates, the sodium potassium pump will transport the sodium and potassium ion. But we have to remember how it will going to transport the sodium and potassium ion. Sodium and potassium pump will transport 3 sodium ion outside the cell, and at the same time it will push 2 potassium ions inside the cell. And for doing this thing, it will require a ATP, and it is a ATPase enzyme which will utilize this ATP and put the sodium ion outside the cell, and at the same time it will push down the 2 potassium ion inside the cell at the same time, just like this. Okay, so this pump will keep on doing this thing to absorb the potassium ion against the concentration gradient. So this is the example of active transport, a primary active transport, because here to operate this pump we required ATP. Just like to operate the water pump we required electricity, to operate this particular pump we require ATP. Are you clear for this thing? So such type of transport is called as primary transport. Now in primary transport, primary active transport, the substances can be transported alone or they can be transported in combination. In combination they can be transported in same direction or in opposite direction. क्या बोला हमने कि जब भी हम प्राइमरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट करते हैं तो हम एक एक सब्सटेंस को ट्रांसपोर्ट कर सकते हैं, या तो फिर हम सब्सटेंसेस को कॉम्बिनेशन में ट्रांसपोर्ट कर सकते हैं। अगर हमने सब्सटेंसेस को कॉम्बिनेशन में ट्रांसपोर्ट किया तो एक तो हम उनको सेम डायरेक्शन में ट्रांसपोर्ट कर सकते हैं, या तो फिर डिफरेंट डायरेक्शन में ट्रांसपोर्ट कर सकते हैं। सो इफ अ प्राइमरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट इज ट्रांसपोर्टिंग ओनली सिंगल molecule, transport of single molecule, then it is called as uniport. Such type of transport is called as uniport. The example of these is spatial sodium pump, or we can have spatial potassium pump, or we can have spatial calcium pump. So these pumps will only transport sodium, they can only transport potassium or calcium. So such type of transport is called as uniport. Just to give you some visual impact, so this is the pump and it can only transport sodium. So this type of transport is called as uniport. Clear? Now if in active transport, if you want to transport 2 or more molecules, then such type of transport is called as symport. Okay, sym means together, port is pump or channel. So if a pump is able to transport more than 2 molecule or more than 1 molecule, it is called as symport. Example of such category of transport is our sodium potassium pump. Here the sodium potassium pump is transporting sodium as well as potassium. But In this particular case, the sodium is going outside and potassium is coming inside, means the direction of pumping is different. So in this particular transport, we are again having two categories. Number one, if we are pumping the substances or molecule in the same direction, then it is called as co-transport. Or if the substances are moving in opposite direction, then it is called as antipode. Okay, so sodium potassium pump is actually an example of sympode, in which it is an antipode because it is moving the sodium outside and pushing the potassium in the same direction. Clear for this thing? So this is about the primary active transport. Now in the same category we are having a secondary active transport. So in secondary active transport, here we do not use the ATP directly, but we will use the electrochemical gradient generated by primary active transport. Now let's say, for example, when this sodium potassium pump will work, it will push down so many sodium ions outside the cell. And it will, due to this pumping, it will create a gradient of sodium outside and inside. Due to this pumping, there are more amount of sodium ion outside the cell and less amount of sodium inside the cell. So there is a natural gradient between a sodium ions. Outside the cell there are more sodium ion and inside the cell there are less sodium ion. Now whenever this sodium ion will move through this membrane by a special gate, it will also carry some molecule along with it. If a sodium ion is carrying, suppose, a glucose molecule along with it, then this type of transport which is taking place between sodium and glucose, such type of transport is called as secondary active transport. Here we have not used the ATP directly, but we have used a electrochemical gradient which is set due to the action of primary active transport. Now this is all about the active transport. We have learned about primary active transport and secondary active transport. In primary active transport, we are having a unipode in which we can transfer only a single substance, or we can transfer more than one substance. In that case, it is called as sympode. In sympode, the substance can move in same direction. That case is called as co-transport, or they can move in opposite direction. That case is called as antipode. So basically, in primary active transport, we are having unipode, sympode and antipode. Clear for this thing? Now in the next video, we will try to learn about the bulk transport. Thank you.